Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here today. This is a rescue cat. He was found abandoned in an old folks' home. They had no idea he was there for months. And when they finally found him, they were like, "Get this guy out of here. He's all alone." So some kind soul took him in and now he's looking for his forever home. So if you want to adopt him, click the link in the description. A little girl is chasing her ball down the street. She looks back to see if anyone is following her and she sees this big fat bumblebee hovering nearby. She screams and runs faster. The bee follows her and she screams again. But then something very strange happens. She stops screaming and the bee lands on her shoulder. The bee seems to be completely friendly and the little girl even starts petting it. Then suddenly the bee stings her and the little girl runs away crying. Her mother comes over and comforts her while the bee flies away. My cat has a secret talent. When we adopted her from the shelter, the staff said she was incredibly skittish, but at home, she turned out to be the opposite. She loves attention and will literally beg for it. And get this, she also begs for it at just the right times. For example, when we're eating dinner, she patiently waits until we refinish and then she sits right in front of me and starts staring at my face. It's cute at first, but after a while, it gets annoying. So I tell her to go play and she runs off to her room. About 30 seconds later, she starts meowing really loud, like it's an emergency. We go check on her and she acts like nothing happened. Then 20 minutes later, she starts meowing again, this time even louder. We go check on her again and she acts like nothing happened again. This cycle repeats about 3 or 4 times throughout the evening. Woman enters her house and finds her cat sitting on the counter drinking water from the faucet. She opens the window to take a picture, but as soon as she does, the cat jumps off the counter, knocks the phone out of her hand and runs away. My girlfriend got her wisdom teeth removed a few days ago, and today is the day she can start eating solid foods again. To celebrate, I made her favorite meal, beef and broccoli. However, when she went to take a bite, she noticed that there was a fly in her food. At first she was grossed out, but then she remembered that it's just a small price to pay for her favorite meal. She fished the fly out of her food, put it on a fork, and ate it. This is what happens when a cat is not allowed on your bed. The cat sneaks on the bed while the owner is sleeping and immediately starts kneading the bed with his claws. The owner wakes up, sees the cat and yells at him. The cat calmly looks at him and starts licking his paw. The owner grabs the cat and puts him on the floor. The cat just walks away and lays down on the bed again. This cycle repeats itself a few times and eventually the owner gives in and lets the cat back on the bed. The cat is happy and proceeds to lay down and fall asleep while the owner continues to pet him. A woman enters her house and finds her cat sitting on the stairs. She keeps trying to pet him, but he keeps running away. She tries again, but he runs away again. As she continues to walk up the stairs, she notices that he's leaving little presents along the way. Realizing that her cat is trying to communicate with her, she picks up his present and takes it to the backyard to show him that she understands. Man enters his house and finds his wife in bed. He tells her that he has some great news and wants to share it with her. However, before he can say anything, his cat jumps on the bed and starts licking his face. The man pushes the cat away and tells his wife again that he has great news to share with her. Once again, the cat jumps on the bed and starts licking her face. The man gets frustrated and throws the cat off the bed. Finally, he gets to tell his wife the great news, but she's not listening. She's too busy throwing the cat out of the bedroom. People always underestimate how smart cats are. When this person went to bed last night, she left a plate of food on the counter to save time in the morning. But when she woke up, she found that someone had eaten most of her breakfast. And when she looked closer, she realized that it was her cat. But there was something else strange going on. You see, she had some leftovers in the fridge that she wanted to throw away. And when she opened the fridge, she found that those were missing too. Not only did her cat eat her breakfast, but he cleaned out her fridge as well. People sometimes think that cats are dumb, but they're actually quite intelligent. If you give them enough chances, they will find a way to get into everything. A man opens his front door and sees a huge spider crawling towards him. He screams and runs away. His wife comes over and sees the spider. She's not afraid, though. Instead, she grabs a glass and a piece of paper and carefully traps the spider. She takes it outside and releases it into the garden. When she goes back inside, she sees her husband hiding behind the couch. She tells him that there was just a little spider, but he refuses to believe her. He thinks that it was a monster. Suddenly, he sees a ladybug crawling on his arm. He freaks out and runs to the bathroom. His wife follows him and tries to explain that it's just a ladybug, but he doesn't listen. He keeps screaming for help and she eventually gets fed up with him. She grabs the ladybug and puts it in his open mouth. Then she closes the door and leaves. Woman comes home from grocery shopping and finds her cat sitting on the table. She's annoyed because her cat always knocks things off the table when she's not home. She tells him to get down, but he doesn't listen. Instead, he starts meowing loudly. She still tells him to get down, but he keeps meowing. So she picks him up and puts him on the floor. She goes over to unload her groceries, but then she hears a crash. She turns around and finds that her cat had jumped on the table again and knocked over a vase. A woman and her boyfriend are laying in bed together. They're both really tired, so they go to sleep. A few hours later, they both wake up and decide to cuddle for a bit longer. As they lay there, the woman starts to feel something moving on her stomach. At first, she ignores it, but then it starts getting louder. She opens her eyes and sees that her boyfriend's pet turtle is climbing all over her. The turtle seems to really like her shirt, so she and her boyfriend gently remove it and the turtle happily crawls onto her bare skin. They stay like this for a few minutes, but eventually the turtle starts biting her. The woman freaks out and starts yelling at her boyfriend. She tells him that he needs to get his pet under control. The boyfriend tells her not to be silly. The turtle is just being friendly. But the woman insists that she can't keep his pet in their bedroom anymore. The boyfriend reluctantly agrees and tells the turtle to go back to its cage. As the turtle is leaving, it bites the woman again. She screams and the boyfriend laughs. "Maybe you should have listened to me," he says. But the woman isn't listening. She's too busy freaking out about how many turtles he has in their bedroom. A woman is trying to take a shower, but every time she turns the water on, her cat jumps in. She tells him to get out, but he just stays there. Frustrated, she gets out of the shower and chases the cat away. Then she tries again, but this time she puts shampoo in her hair. The cat jumps in again and immediately starts licking her. She screams and the cat runs away. She finishes her shower and goes to find her cat. She wants to give him some love, but he runs away every time she approaches him. She realizes that he probably doesn't like the smell of the shampoo, so she starts petting him. The cat eventually calms down and purrs. Then he starts biting her.